and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Wong Do gets it. We got contact. We got flips. Everywhere. We got big wrecks here. Going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Musa's gonna
he's going to use that apron.
He's going to use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's going to get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Sikenis is going to win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight. And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Modified series here from the Bullring West, live on JTN. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky, and joining me unexpectedly tonight, after some delays in flights out of the Northeast for Ricky Collette, it's the one and only Tommy Bordeaux.
Well, howdy, Joe. Great to be here once again on back-to-back nights with you. And tonight, something quite a bit different than what we saw at Martinsville last night. It's not Cup Series race cars. These are modifieds at a quite banked and fast Bullring West.
It's going to be a fun night here. The modifieds, obviously, they got that extra little bit of grip, right? Got those big tires.
Ground pounders.
And then you just throw some banking out there for these guys. So it's going to be crazy. 120 laps tonight on the docket around this track. No stages, none of that. Just 120 laps of full throttle racing here tonight.
Half a mile around here.
Half a mile around here. I don't know. I had a little speech there. Bristol just tore it off of my desk, so apparently it wasn't satisfactory for him. So, live and learn, right?
That's right.
We are waiting for the start of qualifying, and Tommy, short track racing, tempers flare. We usually see some really courteous racing here, though, with the guys at HOBO.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really close-knit group, not just between the racers, but also their fans as well. And I see a bunch of them piling in chat. And welcome to everybody that's tuning in tonight to cheer on their favorite driver. Yeah, Joe, I mean, this is really what it's all about, right? Guys giving each other respect on the racetrack, which I think these days is hard to come by sometimes, at least on the short tracks for sure.
Hey, 120 laps here tonight, Barbara, and can't thank you enough for tuning in, as always. Mackenzie, see two of our drivers, Steve Rubito, Ren Spadafora, also tuning in, as well as Megan Fitzgerald. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight. Hope you're going to enjoy the show. I know we got a lot of the Ravino clan always in chat for these HOBO races, so we're hoping to see the 21 and 44 have a good night here tonight. Drivers being called to their cars for qualifying, so we will have cars on track here momentarily for happy hour practice. And while qualifying is going on, I would like to remind you that if you haven't already, hit that like button on the video and subscribe. It does so much to help support us here on JTN. It also goes to show your appreciation and support towards the drivers here at HOBO Racing for all that they do, for the great shows they always put on. So encourage you, if you haven't already, to hit that like button and subscribe to us right here on JTN. This was your HOBO Racing Modified Series race preview presented by our friends at CircleBeatDiecast.com. Use code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. CircleBeatDiecast.com is your home for all your racing-related memorabilia needs. Maybe you need a Kyle Larson Championship t-shirt or diecast. Circle B Diecast has it. Maybe you're getting ready to pre-order some new 2022 diecast, whether it be IndyCar, NASCAR. They even got a bunch of dirt car stuff, Tommy. Those fans, they can head on over to CircleBeatDiecast.com now and use that code JTN at checkout for free shipping on their order of $20 or more.
Yeah, quite the variety of available products out there. I've had gifts before for Christmas for my family members, everything from plaques to glasses and all sorts of fun stuff over there. Not just diecasts, there's more.
Much, much more. You want to go check it out. And their Black Friday sales starting next Wednesday. They always have amazing deals. They refresh every hour. You can head on over to their Twitter at Circle B. And they have the schedule already posted for what will be posted hour by hour throughout Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, weekend, all the way through Cyber Monday. And that code still works, so I would definitely be buying at least $20 worth of stuff. But with all that being said, Tommy, enough of me talking and blabbering about diecast. Let's talk about some race cars, because qualifying has concluded, so that means it's time for you to take us through tonight's starting lineup.
Well, that's right, Joe. And at the top of the boards in a league of his own, Jeff Stakenis in that 31 team is setting a time of 15.898 seconds around this place. He's your pole sitter for tonight. Joining him on the front row, the 57 of Rob Keller at a 15.927. He is joining Stakenis up there. Those two also very fast in practice as well, so they're definitely going to be ones to watch tonight. A couple other drivers up towards the front of the field in row number 2. Darrell Brown in the 86, and the always quick Herman Reese in the 73 coming from the outside of row number 2. Rich Napick and Dan Rubino make up row number 3. Ron Simpson and Rod Weston in row number 4 with Jim Windrow and the 59 of Duke Sorensen making up your top 10 in qualifiers. Steve Rubino, one of the last drives in the 21 for him tonight. He's going to roll off 11th next to the 11 of Steve Grant in 12th. Ryan Johnson, Brandon Spetafor, Wade Driscoll, the number 188 of Larry D, Dennis Chambers, and John Dog Palmer make up your spectacular field of 18 drivers tonight.
Tommy, this is usually the part where we do a fan poll in chat, but it's kind of hard to see the manufacturers out here. What do you think about tonight's poll? What do you think tonight's poll question should be? Maybe, where's the winner going to start from?
Oh, you could definitely do where's the winner going to start from the front half of the field, maybe the back half of the field. You could do numbers, evens, or odds. I don't know. Because I got to say, Joe, at short tracks, most often you're going to get the winner from the front, regardless. Just that track position's so important.
How many cars do we got here tonight, Tommy?
18.
18. So positions 1 through 9, and then 10 through 18. How's that sound?
That sounds pretty good. Now, there's still some quick drivers that are starting towards the back of the field. Didn't get the qualifying session they wanted, but are definitely going to have speed in the race. So don't be surprised. Either one could pan out. Put your votes in shortly when that poll gets up, and we'll see.
There you go. It should be posted momentarily, and something that you can really notice it quick here. Concrete patch down in turns 1 and 2 on the bottom. What's that going to do to these cars?
Yeah, Joe. Well, that's a completely different grip. That surface of concrete is a little bit slippier, a little bit more slippery than the asphalt. So you got to watch that. If you're sending it in too hard and you're trying to get the car to slow down a little bit, to turn differently, it's going to be a struggle. You're going to get loose, and ideally you don't want that transition to be too harsh when you're driving in. You want to put it in nice and smooth and get through the corner well. Now on the opposite side of the track, all asphalt all the time, so that difference, Joe, going to be something these drivers have got to watch out for.
Watching our pole sitter Jeff Stakenis in that 31 racetrack modified, always looking really fast as Stakenis. You talked about it, you can win a short track from anywhere on the starting grid. There is going to be a lot of strategy at play here. 120 laps. It doesn't seem like a long time, but depending on where cautions fall, if they fall, these drivers, they're going to be presented with some unique opportunities to maybe make up some of that track position with cautions and pit stops under yellow.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. If these guys come down pit lane, they can choose to do a 2-tire stop to try and gain track position. Maybe they try and stay out. As far as fuel, not going to be too much of a concern if you can at least make it to about 20 to 25 laps into this thing on the same tank. Your next full fill-up will put you to the end of the race. So really, it just comes down to tires for pit strategy tonight.
See Steve Rubino bringing his number 21 for the last time, racing that number here tonight, bringing it down the pit lane. And it's good to see Steve out here after a disastrous end to the Indiana 200 a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that was a heartbreaker for him, and a great night for Wade Driscoll, who won that race, who's also in this one tonight. So some variation there in the results of that one, and they're back on track in a completely different car, completely different track.
I was going to say, I don't think there's two tracks that are more polar opposite than the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and this Bullring West.
It would certainly be hard to find. We're approaching happy hour's conclusion here, and all these drivers going to have that opportunity to take a breath a little bit before the starting grid, fix setups here tonight, so that's not really what it's all about. It's all about the driver behind the wheel, and for 18 drivers, they're going to be the one that hopes to be in victory lane at the end of it all.
Tommy, what's it like to be in victory lane? I wouldn't know.
It's the best feeling in the world, Joe. There's nothing quite like it.
Cars getting lined up here on the end of pit lane. We'll be going green momentarily. Again, 120 laps here tonight from upstate New York. That's correct. Record set at a 16.241, but that was absolutely shattered by Stakenis at a 15.8 in qualifying here. We wait for this field to get these cars fired up. Fans are...
Drivers, start your engines!
They made them wait a little bit for that command. Did you see it? You can feel the anticipation.
The tension is building here for Turkey Day Thunder, and we're going to have to build it once more here.
Try again.
Drivers, to your cars.
Joe, you know, we mentioned in the earlier part of the broadcast that transition from asphalt to concrete and back in turns 1 and 2. Similar to Thompson, which is, of course, a pretty famous modified track on the circuit, and at least it's nothing unfamiliar to these guys.
It's still unique. It's still going to be really interesting to see how they navigate that. Looks like we're going to reset one more time. Actually, I think we're waiting on... I think there might be some connection issues with a couple drivers, so we're going to wait to try to make sure we can get them into the field.
Well, in the meantime, Joe, as we wait for that, we mentioned tonight here the HOBO Racing Modifieds. But what's coming up next here on JTN?
Well, the next broadcast, it's going to be, you know, myself and yourself. I don't know how English works there, but we're going to be with the USORL Retro Series November the 20th. That's this Saturday night from the Pensacola Super Speedway. Coverage beginning then 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we're back here with HOBO Racing on Tuesday from Phoenix. Going to crown a champion there, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, November the 23rd. Following night, you're going to join me out in Phoenix for the All-Star Racing Cup Series finale, where we're going to crown a champion in that one, 9:05 p.m. Eastern start time there. November the 30th, HOBO Modifieds. That would be not this upcoming Tuesday, but the following, from Martinsville.
Drivers,
And then USORL Retro Series. Got about an 11-day break in there. That sounds really nice, right? Retro Series from Las Vegas on December the 11th. All those races.
A little bit of a break. And we're going to try this again.
They'll fill it up, though. They always fill it up. Field up.
Okay, then. So Rob Keller on that outside, Jeff Stakenis on the inside. Those two awfully quick here.
Drivers,
There's the command. Once again.
your engine!
We'll be set to go here momentarily. I'm sure everybody at home is excited to get this going, as are we. Here we go. Pace cars off. These cars are following them out of pit road, and green flag will be short here, Joe.
So it's going to come really quick for these leaders. Stakenis, Keller. Brown, Reese, and Napick, your top 5 here for the start of this one. Stekenis with control. He has been the guy that from the start of the year to the end of the year, you know when you're racing the modifieds here at Hobo, you gotta beat the 31. Field coming off of turn number 4. Green flag, we're underway here from the Bullring West.
Already Stekenis using that inside lane to clear Keller, but they're still side by side all throughout the field behind him.
First battle there is Urban Reese on the outside of Brown. Going to make that pass. He'll move up into the 3rd position. Move Darrell Brown back to 4th. Keller getting a little loose through the center. Reese going to dive the nose to the inside and try to make the pass down to 3 and 4.
Yeah, Keller had a little bit of trouble there on that transition. We talked about it. That's going to, that's a different grip right there. Car's going to slide out from you a little bit. And Reese up to 2nd after that 4th place starting position, a 73 car. We know he's very strong at short tracks in these modifieds, and he's already found his way up to the top 2.
Single file action throughout the field right now. As Windrow to the inside of Simpson there in the 25.
Windrow in that 86 trying to get around. Looks like he will easily, so Simpson not fighting that too hard, very early stages of this race yet. We mentioned the kind of respect that these guys have out on track for each other. Just a nice racer move right there. You know you don't have it this early on. You don't need to have it this early on. Plenty of racing to go yet.
These laps, though, they're clicking away fast, Tommy. Again, the 57 getting loose through the center. That's going to allow Brown to get a run here coming down the back straightaway.
Darrell Brown in that 86 on the tail of the Albertsons 57. Brown looks like he dipped onto the grass a little bit on the inside, going to upset his car. You see he lost a lot of momentum. And that beautiful number 6 of Napick there, trying to catch back up to Brown.
Right behind them, Bino in the 44, facing a challenge from Windrow there in the 36. Windrow going to get that Nerf bar to the inside and try to scoot on by through turns 1 and 2. They're side by side down the back. Windrow with the preferred line down into 3 and 4. Looks like he'll take the spot.
Now we talked about the good start that the 73 of Herman Reese had. Well, how about Jim Windrow? Up a couple places from where he started now, and that's not easy to do on short tracks, where usually there's just one preferred line around the bottom. Back up front for the lead, Joe. Herman Reese is flying 2/10 faster than Jeff Stekenis this last time by. He's catching up with our leader.
You see that visor cam for Reese trying to, like you said, he's starting to pull into Stekenis. That 31, look at, you can just see how loose these guys are from this visor cam on the 73.
Yeah, everybody with the same setup, so everybody's dealing with that. But it's how well you deal with that is really going to decide who comes out on top. Stekenis pulling away just a little bit from Reese this time by, but that 73 is lurking, and he looks like he's awfully quick. 2 seconds clear of 3rd place is your battle for the lead right now.
And back, Napick trying to fend off the 44 of Rubino. 36 of Windrow went on by. We were cut away. That 36 looking mighty good despite limited practice.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. That 36, we mentioned it, up a couple spots from where he started. Windrow from 9th is looking to make his way, not just in here in the top 5, but he's only 2 spots away from the top 3, and he's going to try and make the move on Darrell Brown here for 4th. He made it look easy that time.
Well, those folks that voted 1st through 9th are really glad that this 36 didn't qualify one position worse, because right now he is looking like the guy to beat despite starting far back in the field.
Yeah, and he's running times comparable to our leader, Stekenis, who, remember, is in clean air and doesn't have any traffic to deal with, so that's really strong for that 36 to be able to run that kind of pace in traffic.
Just watching these guys sling these cars around here, knowing that they're on that edge. You saw from that earlier shot, just they're so loose right now, especially through the center, Tommy. I mean, just watching these guys, it's a hoot and a holler.
well, it's a handful, so much horsepower. I was going to say under the hood, but not really here. It's more exposed than usual on these cars, but a lot of power to deal with. They have fat rear tires, front tires as well, really, but even that is sometimes not enough to contain everything that these cars have in terms of performance behind them. Windrow closing in on Keller here for third position. Seems like it's only a matter of time now.
On board with Windrow now as he closes it on that Albertsons 57. I think you know a thing or two about driving one of those types of cars.
Sure do.
You can just really see it from this angle, right? You can just see how he lunges down into the center of the corner.
Yeah, the entry here is important to get right. It's going to set you up for that whole rest of the corner. And Windrow's done a great job maximizing his entry speed while still getting great exits as well. And that recipe has enabled this 36 to make up a lot of positions. Although that being said, this 57 is a little bit of a roadblock for him. He's taking that line that Windrow wants right down at the bottom.
First time we've seen this 36 have trouble tonight trying to pass a guy.
Oh, absolutely, Joe. And yeah, that's something to look forward to all night long, are these battles that we're going to see. Back up front, real quick, Herman Reese and Jeff Stekenis going through lap traffic now.
That's slowed down the pace of this 31, putting Palmer a lap down there in the 108. Reese now going to look to the inside down into 1 to try to get around that 108. He does. Next car is going to be the 78 Wade Driscoll.
Joe, with that 57 of Rob Keller holding up Windrow a little bit there. Darrell Brown in the 86 as well as Rich Knaplik have caught back up these two problems.
Right in front of them.
Big problems. Oh no, and for Keller and the 57 crew, not what they wanted right there. Two lap cars getting together right in front of them on the back stretch.
That's going to be massive damage to the front end of that 57. Let's catch a replay. You saw it. You saw the tail end of it, I guess, live. See what happened here with the 108 and the 188. Like Larry just didn't know that Palmer was there.
Yeah, it kind of just looks like that going up the racetrack, and unfortunately just clipped the left front on his right rear.
On board here with the 6 of Rich Knapik. There's kind of one of those little accordion effects there too, Tommy.
Yeah, a really scary situation here to happen right in front of our leaders, of course. The only one that really got involved too badly was that 57 of Keller, and that could have been a lot worse where it happened, who was around by then. And unfortunately for that 57 car, we're going to be our first retirement of the night.
An unfortunate end to what was looking like a strong night for Keller in that 57 Albertsons machine, and I don't know, that just ended up being wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. And I'm actually going to take this opportunity to head on down to the infield and talk with our crew of the 57 to see what went wrong and how much damage they sustained, because clearly, Joe, not enough to continue. So we'll have that information for you in just a bit.
While Tommy does that and we're under yellow here, would like to remind you that if you want to help support us here on JTN, the best way to do so is always to make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to us right here on youtube.com/JoeTowNetwork. But you can also now head on over to our JTN merch store, get some JTN race car merch available with the white and black variant of the car. Got t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers with this design, so you can get all three of those options right now on the JTN merch store, linked in the description below. We're going to have a Black Friday sale going. We're going to have a special discount code. Maybe if you guess it early, you could use it, I guess. But make sure you keep your eyes peeled to our socials on Twitter, at JoeTowNetwork, Facebook, JoeTowNetwork, and then also community posts right here on YouTube.com. JTN Merch Store, another great way to help support us. But of course, the best way to support us here on JTN is to make sure you're active and vocal in chat, hitting the like button on the video, subscribing, and if you want to go that little extra mile, make sure you share the video with all your friends and family. JTN merch store. Get yourself some new clothes. Spruce up that wardrobe. Pace car lights do look like they're going to be off, so we're going to go back green flag racing this time. Going to be lap 31 of 120 when we go back green. Herman Reese with control. Windrow, Napick, Brown, and Dan Rubino. Your top 5, Steve Rubino. And it's the 10 of Chambers. 59 of Sorensen. Grant in the 11. And Spada 4 in the 37, rounding out your top 10. Herman Reese with control. He's going to bring the field through turns 3 and 4. We're going to go back green flag racing with 90 laps to go in this one. Green flag, we're back underway. Windrow tried to get a good jump there, not going to be able to do so. Reese pulls out by about half a car length. 36 getting squirrely off the corner. Further on back, Dan Rubino to the inside of Darrell Brown for position. Going to try to take Steve with him. 21 now to the inside of the 86, battling for 5th. Gonna just barely be there, down into 1. 44 is clear by a car length and a half. Steve Rubino goes on by for 5th, so move the 21 and the 44. Those two guys up into the top 5 for the first time tonight. And his Chambers now trying to find a way around Darrell Brown. Not able to do so. He stays in line there. Sorensen, they're just racing all over the place, folks. Sorensen trying to find a way around the 110. Everybody, though, single file right now. Just trying to find that little bit of an edge. Back up front, it's Windrow. He's looking to the inside of Herman Reese for the lead. That 36 with a big lunge down into 3 and 4. Reese gets really loose, misses the apex of the corner. Windrow takes the lead. 73 going to dive back to the inside down into 1 and 2. Not enough there. He's loose once again in the grass, catches the car. Napick with contact. He's into the outside wall. Here comes Bino in the 44 for 3rd. Danny going on by now for 2nd. Move Dan Rubino up into the 2nd position. Steve Rubino to 3rd. Something's wrong with the 73. We got a gaggle of cars right now. 86 gets really close to the back of the 6. 59 to the inside of the 10 for position. 11 going to look to scoot on through as well. That's Steve Grant and Dennis Chambers there side by side for position. Still going to be side by side down into turns 3 and 4. Give that position to Grant. And the 11 spat of 4 now looking to the inside of the 10 for position. You wheel the wheel down here into 3 and 4. 37 going to go on through. That's going to allow Rod Weston now to get to the inside of that number 19 Toyota. Neon colors there on the 19. He slides up through the center, clipped that little bit of curving there. A little too much. Got the car unsteady underneath him. And Chambers now able to get back down in line, so something to watch throughout the night, folks, is if you get stuck in the outside, how are you going to rebound? Battle's on for 2nd. 44-21. I know there's a lot of fans of these two in chat, and you better not be sitting in your seat, because these two, they're racing. Rod Weston around further back in the field. He saves it. He gets it back rolling. Let's get you a replay of what happened there. Like 19 just going to get loose on the exit of 2, but a big power slide and save for the driver. Weston there in that Toyota. Back to this battle for 2nd, though. It's Danny there in 2nd. Steve there in 3rd. 44 going to get a little high off the corner, washes up. Not enough momentum coming from the 21 to try to make a pass. On board to the visor cam with Steve here in the 21. You can see how he's trying to hunt that left rear of the 44. You gotta, if you can just get the nose of your car, not even necessarily side by side with him, folks, but just so it's there, it's close enough where if you make one of those lunges down into the corners, just watch these cars as they lunge. It's the grass there. You don't want to do that, Steve. that's going to take some of the pressure off that 44. Danny up there running in front. That green car that's lap traffic of the one away to Dog Palmer. Palmer involved in that early incident. The 188 washed up off the corner into him. No side-by-side battles now. Watch this 31 of Stekenis, though. He was the leader when the caution came out. Now just clinging on to a top 10 position.
Joe, as we're watching to Stekenis hanging on to that position, I've returned from the infield with some more information on that 57 crew. It was more than just an alignment issue that forced them to retire. That impact there on our first caution of the night completely bent the front suspension on the left front there, and that was unfixable for them, so they had to retire from the event early on. Tough break, Joe.
Another developing story, the 73 Herman Reese has retired from the event. Saw him get kind of washed out of line. Don't know what happened. Sounds like something went wrong with it mechanically for that car. It's 25 spinning off of turn 2. We stay green.
Staying green right there. Ron Simpson around, and Jim Windrow in that 36, who, Joe, we talked about it before. He was a man on a mission earlier, coming from 9th position to get himself into the top 5. Well, now with Herman Reese out, with Rob Keller out, and of course Jeff Stekenis way back there trying to cling on to the top 10, the 36 crew's got to be feeling good about this.
And right now, the battle's really on for second, right? Windrow is almost half a track ahead of these guys, full back straightaway at this point. Rubino, though, sitting there in second, then Steve Rubino there in third. I guess got to differentiate. They've really been holding down the back half of this podium.
Well, they sure have, and I'm sure the fans at home are going to be happy about that one. That battle for second and third, definitely a fan favorite group right there.
Also got Napick there in the 6th, another one of the fan favorite, Daryl Brown. Hey, shout out to the driver of the 86 having a good run here, running 5th.
Yeah, that 86 doing a great job hanging around that top 5 for all night long at this point. Almost halfway through this already, Joe. The race has been flying by, but I guess that's what happens when you have 16-second lap times. Napick looking to the inside there of Steve Rubino. Not going to be able to make the move this time, though.
Hey, like you said, we're almost at halfway. We're about to be over halfway. Now's where you flip that switch on the give and take.
Yeah, we've been playing pretty nicely so far throughout this race, but everybody wants to get every spot they can. And in case we were to get another yellow flag condition, track position, so important, even one spot. And if any of these guys consider going on pit lane under caution for new tires, those spots still matter. It's when you get on pit lane, I mean, the faster you're in and into your stall, the faster you can get out and hopefully stay up towards the front of the field as well.
Rod Weston with a good pass there on Duke Sorensen in the 59. That 19 up a spot. Another gaggle of cars here. Right behind the 11 is Steve Grant. Then it's the 37 of Spadafora. 10 of Chambers. 31 of Stekenis. And that 31 has not been able to cut through the field as quick as I think any of the fans here would have thought.
No, and certainly not like Windrow was able to do earlier on. Stekenis winning the pole by a healthy margin, but has not translated to the race pace I think we were expecting from that 31 tonight. Even earlier, kind of after a clean getaway, that 73 of Herman Reese, who was no longer in contention in this race, was catching at the time.
Steve Rubino's starting to heat up that back. I don't know what back bar of the 44 of old Dan Rubino. Brotherly battle there for second. What a night it would be for Steve to get a top 3 finish here. Last race in the 21 and all.
I'm sure it would feel good, and we could if he's able to do that, we'll definitely hear it in his interview. And Joe, we talked about it a little bit about the Albertsons 57 in this race with Keller, but of course myself, quite the attachment there to the number 57, both online and in real life. And I understand that changes have to be made, but man, the deep connections that drivers have with their numbers is more than you would think.
That was always when I made the switch from the 93 to the 2 a few years ago when we opened up our team, and it was a sponsor thing, right? They didn't want the 93, they wanted the 2, but by golly, Tommy, it hurt. It hurt to give up on that 93 number, but we made a legacy for ourselves in the 2. I had a feeling after 20 or so years here for Steve in that 21, he'll make a brand new legacy in the new number of the 07.
That's a long time, and that is hopefully a legacy that he can definitely keep up with the 07 after he switches to it.
Hey, just
Speaking of legacies, how about the legacy of Jim Windrow tonight? 5 seconds clear of the Rubino brothers.
That was a good tie. Real quick though, one little final wrap up thing. You can put a different coat of paint on it. You can slap a different number on it. You can change where you put the number. It don't matter as long as the driver behind the wheel still has that desire to win, that fire. Not gonna matter what number you're running.
That's right.
As you said, Windrow, he's way out there. So we're continuing to watch this battle for second. Because that 36 is plain flying right now. Danny doing a good job of holding off Steve for position. Tommy, let's go on board here once again with Steve behind the visor cam. What are you seeing from this 21?
Well, this 21 car is awfully close to that 24, and I'm sure these two are going to play nice with each other, and I wouldn't suspect anything nefarious to occur, but I don't know. I think Steve's going to want that second spot away this time on the inside. Looks like he's taking a little bit slower on the line with the can. Just not enough room down there to make a punch and make a move. Hard to get that momentum out that corner to be able to make something like that. So far, these two have been pretty much nose to tail for the past, I don't know how many laps.
It's about collecting data right now for this 21. I think he's a little bit better than Danny in that 44. Right now, at this point in the run, he can get a little bit of a better run on the entry of the corner. I think Steve's maybe a little more aggressive at that point. Danny doing a good job, though, of getting the speed up off the corner. But it's really interesting to watch because these guys. If there's anyone on track you want to beat your sibling, right?
Absolutely. Well, look how close these two got that time out of 4. I mean, it's filling up the mirror for Dan up ahead for sure. And that 21 car, I know he doesn't want to make contact with them, but you can get a guy out of your way by just using their mind against them sometimes. We've seen it before.
While these two continue to battle, Rich Napick there in the 6, he's just kind of... I think he's looking at his chops a little bit, because if these two make some contact, maybe something happens. He's going to be scooting on through for second.
Yeah, he's got to be aware, too. I mean, that close to them, if they get together, not going to be too much time to react. Maybe that's a good thing, though. Ooh, at that time, Steve getting way loose out of 4. Here comes Napick to the inside. Napick trying to roll the bottom there through the concrete section in 1 and 2. Steve Rubino able to hold that outside lane, but it looks like this time we're still going to be side by side, but the advantage is going to be to Napick this time by the stripe. This is your battle for 3rd position. Napick that time going to clear Rubino.
So Steve moving back and maybe I don't know. Maybe because of how hard he was running there, trying to pass the 44?
That could have been. I mean, that's something over the course of this run, and we've had some long ones tonight. Those tires are going to go away on you. Got to be careful about that. And, one little mistake like that, just dipping the wheel onto that change in banking in that grass down below can upset that car way too much. You got to get out of the gas and gather it back up. That's the kind of opportunity that the guy right behind you is going to be waiting for.
Checking back here, Jess Stakenis trying to get to the inside of Dennis Chambers. Chambers got into the outside wall there coming off of turn number 2. Stakenis to the inside off of 4. Drag race back down into 1. Stakenis had the position that lap, and now he'll have the position. He's clear of the 10 of Dennis Chambers.
And certainly that inside lane for Stakenis proving to be useful. That's definitely the preferred groove around here, shortening up the track as much as he can. So that's 31. He's back up to 6th position, but he's still got a long way to go to get back where he started. And in fact, with all this traffic and the blistering pace being set by the 36 up front, he's almost 12 seconds behind Esteganis. Windrow is flying out there.
Windrow's closer to his back bumper than Stekenis is to Windrow's back bumper. That was not the case earlier on in the race for those pit stops.
That is incredible.
Sorensen on the pit lane.
Duke Sorensen and the 59 crew coming down. Don't think this is a scheduled stop because, Joe, they shouldn't have any fuel needs, I don't believe, at this point. So maybe that 59 is trying something different, or maybe they have something wrong with the car.
You ever have something go wrong with your car?
Unfortunately, yes. I've had engines blow on me, gears go on me, all that kind of stuff. Never fun.
He's trying to make a move to the outside of Rich there in the 6. 21 he's starting to use that outside line. Look at him go.
Oh man, he is, but that time really sketchy there with the D up high, the 3 wide action for a moment there. Dale Brown also coming down pit lane, so maybe these guys are doing something with the tires here, Joe. I didn't expect to see anybody actually pitting during green flag pit stops really after our first caution when people filled up with fuel, but well, I've been proven wrong before.
Would think that they're going to be coming back down the pit lane. Just usually we can only run about 60 laps in these modified races before we need fuel. All the tracks, roughly that same length. 86 has come down the pit lane, so yeah, I think all these guys are going to have to pit.
Well, there you go, and once again, pit strategy, not one of my strongest suits.
I was going to say, once again, you didn't do your research.
Right. Well, hey, I was thrown into this gig last minute,
That's true, it's Ricky's fault.
Doing the best I can.
Blame everything on
Hey,
Ricky. Complaining about his back. Couldn't get on the plane because his back hurt.
Vernon Spatafore in the 37 coming down pit lane, so a lot of early pitters right here. 30 laps to go in this thing. I think it's a good point to pit. You're going to get a good amount of use out of your tires, certainly. You don't want to pit too late. You're not going to be able to take advantage of that fresh rubber compared to others.
Spatafore on the pit lane. Like I said, if you can be the first down the pit lane, but I would just be so concerned about getting caught down there on a caution. And I mean, you're already down a lap or two, and
that's always going to be a concern, and especially for Windrow in this 36 with the advantage that they have on the field at the moment. They've built up throughout this long green flag run here. That would be the absolute worst thing to have happen is come down pit lane early, and you don't necessarily have to, and find yourself locked a lap down. But this 36 still setting good pace even on these older tires.
I'm going to say the 59 just went on by. Sorensen's been out there for about, 8 or 9 laps now, so that's the difference in tires, folks. That 59 went flying by Windrow. Rich Knappick has made his way around Dan Rubino, so the 44 has moved back to 3rd. 21 still there in 4th. 86 has come down the pit lane. Not for position there. Going to get a big dive, big lunge to the inside of Steve Rubino. Jessica Kenna's kind of closing in on this battle now. I was thinking maybe that 31 would come down the pit lane a little bit earlier, too, to try to take advantage of those tires, but do not think that's the case.
Yeah, he's not coming down just yet. Neither is our top 5. They have not gone into pit lane just yet, so they're hanging on just a little bit more, so we don't want to get trapped a lap down.
So Knappick has scooted away. Here comes Bino down the pit lane in the 44.
Yeah, so there is the first of our top 5 coming down pit lane, and we're going to have to check out the kind of advantage that it's going to give him because we know fresh tires are the best you can get. And at this racetrack, we've seen that fall off throughout the night. For example, our leader here in the 36, Jim Windrow, running about almost a second slower than his fastest lap of the night. Of course, he's had some traffic to deal with, but still, that fall off is very real.
And fall off's what makes good racing, right? And I think that's why we've seen such a great show here tonight. not going to speak about any other things, but it's been a great show because that's we always invite the trouble, right? The tire wear really makes these drivers race the track on top of race each other, and I think that just makes everyone a little more careful. Might not be the right word, but maybe timid with how they're making their passes, and they make smart decisions behind the wheel of the race car instead of aggressive ones, I guess would be the way to put it.
Yeah, difficult cars, difficult tracks can be pretty entertaining there. Looks like we had the 86 there on the infield grass. Spun around in 1 and 2.
Don't see him, Tommy.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that 86 is on track anymore, Joe. Even if he is, he's somewhere down pit lane. Tough break for that 86 crew who was, Brown was in that top 5 for a long portion of the night.
Guys.
Yeah, looks like he's got a little bit of a transponder issue, Joe. That's a heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker. Steve Reno on the 2144's got fresh tires. He scoots on by. So it's still Windrow in the lead, Napik second, third now Steve Rubino in the 21.
I've seen these top guys come down pit lane, but Joe, according to my garage calculations, you can make it 100 laps on fuel. So,
well,
but they're not quite going to.
Here comes Windrow down the pit lane.
How about that?
So Napik going to take over the lead. Steve Rubino there in second. So Windrow comes down the pit lane, and maybe they can make it on the fuel, Tommy, but tires maybe?
Well, I think, you get a benefit here of pitting late from not having to add too much fuel. And I can make it a long way on it already, but if you don't have to take that much fuel, you're just minimizing the time you're in pit lane. Let's see if Windrow goes for 4 tires here. We've got an eye on him in pit lane. No, 2 right sides for the 36. He is out and away with just a can of fuel as well, so he'll be able to get back on this racetrack while spending a little bit of time on pit lane, and not much, but a sideways condition leading pit lane exit.
Going to be a little, uneven there on the tires. It's going to make that car a little bit of a handful until those right sides get heated on up.
Indeed. Well, Napik there in the 6 car leading the way right now has not stopped yet. We assume everybody's going to have to stop at some point, but when is the question? And as he crossed the stripe that time, it is your TWB 10 to go. Brought to you by Garden Lights Direct. Folks, from porches to patios and more. For all of your outdoor lighting needs, go check out GardenLightsDirect.com on the web. They have some seasonal lights in for the holidays and many more great options for exterior illumination. Go check them out, GardenLightsDirect.com. That was your TWB 10 to go, and Napik's still staying out.
Romano's starting to reel him in bit by bit here late in the going. 8 laps to go this time at the line.
And these guys may be trying to save as much as they can to try and stretch it to the end of this race, hoping they can. For Napik, that pace has slowed tremendously. And that's allowed Rubino to catch right back up to him, while Stakenis now just a second behind these guys, coming back into the picture towards the front.
7 laps to go, 21 reeling in the 6. He let him by earlier, now reaping the benefits of that move from earlier on in the race. Rubino trying to find a way around Napik for the lead late in the going, under 10 laps to go.
How about this? We talked about the occasion here with Steve Rubino running the 21 for the final time. No better way to go out than in victory lane. He's got 1 car to beat for it, and of course a tank of fuel he's trying to stretch. Can he do it?
If anyone can, Steve can. And looking to the inside, he clipped that apron a little bit. You don't want to do that. Black car behind him, that's the 36 of Windrow. He's trying to get back on the lead lap. Still a lap down after that pit stop.
Yeah, and we're going to see the pace difference. I think these guys are trying to save fuel, clutching it into the corners. It's going to allow that 36 to catch him and pass him to get himself back on the lead lap, but, well, there's not going to be enough time left if these guys are able to make it to the end for that 36 to get back up towards the lead. We'll see if he makes a pressure move on any of them or just kind of lets them go and race this thing out to the end. That 36 really fast. He gets into the 21. Rubino around, and the caution late in the going gonna come out.
And that's going to hand the win over to the 6 of Rich Napick as long as he can make it to the end of this one. Stekenis going to get second. I think Romino's still going to get third.
We have seen some heartbreak for Steve Rubino towards the end of these races getting turned. At least this time, he's looks like he's going to finish it.
Here's a replay of the incident. You saw it live. 36, just so much more speed through the center of the corner. Makes contact. He pulls it off the track. He retires. Obviously, I think goes without saying, probably feels awful after that one.
Yeah, I'm certain he does. It's just kind of a silly move there this late in the going. Even if he did get on the lead lap, with these races ending under caution, there's no way he would have gotten back up to the lead even if there were another incident on track. So just kind of, one of those situations late in the going that you wish you could avoid on either side, really, of the incident.
Hey, but mistakes happen. We're all human, right?
Some of us are human. Not me, but some people are.
What are you?
I'm a goat.
You're a goat. Well, the guy that got it done here tonight, at least in our opinion at Bullring West, he's the greatest of all time, because this is the only race we've covered here. Coming to the line, Rich Napick. He'll win it. Take home the victory in New York.
Well, that beautiful number 6 paint scheme, an iconic livery for Modifieds. In victory lane once again here tonight. For Jeff Stekenis, he started on the pole, wound up getting back to second place, but not finishing where he wanted to finish this race. And Steve Rubino there in the final drive in the 21, a podium finish. I'm sure he's at least going to be satisfied with that, but I know he would have rather had the win, or at least an opportunity at it towards the end of this one.
That's one of those situations where you just want a little bit more, right?
Absolutely.
So Napick gonna do burnouts for the fans if he can get those Hoosiers smoking, and a lot of folks probably wish they had those Hoosier tires right now.
Absolutely.
He's trying. He's trying. I think he's done. Did he give up? Ah! Targeting it for the picture. There we go. We'll move on to our post-race coverage. We'll talk with our top 3 drivers, and folks would be remiss if we didn't remind you. Make sure if you didn't already, I think I used that word right. If you didn't already, hit the like button on the video and subscribe to us right here on JTN. We appreciate your support so much. Again, our next broadcast for the guys here at HOBO Racing is going to be this upcoming Tuesday for the Cup Series out at Phoenix. We're going to crown a champion. Going to be a fantastic show, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday. Our next broadcast is going to be Saturday night, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time. So for you night owls out there, tune in. We're going to have some fun with the USORL Retro Series.
And Joe, for a JTN poll of the night, it was a split vote, 50% for 1st through 9th, 50% 10th through 18th. But the winner goes to the half of you that voted 1st through 9th. Our winner tonight, Rich Napick, coming from 5th position for the win here at Turkey Day Thunder.
Wishing everyone, if you're not going to be able to join us for some of these other races, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving. Hope you're able to celebrate with friends and family alike this holiday season and get back to some shred of normalcy. Tommy, while I'm working to get those results on the screen, we'll wait for those drivers to come into the media center. But if these fans at home, if they're in the market for maybe a new t-shirt or a hoodie, where should they go?
Well, I mean, if you're looking for the most comfortable, stylish piece of clothing you can put on your body, whether it be a hoodie, a t-shirt, go check out the JTN merch store, Joe. Let me tell you, they got some great pieces there. I think my favorite's got to be the classic Tommy Bordeaux, Tommy's World merchandise there. Get that on a shirt. Get a Joseph Weaver shirt, if you will, as well. It's a beautiful car, and a JTN hoodie to boot would just top off the look. And not only will be stylish, you'll be very comfortable as well for these cool winter months.
Very comfortable. I know I wear my JTN hoodies. I got my Speed logo hoodie, and I also got the Big Racers Podcast hoodie, and they are fantastic, especially right now as we're starting to get really cold. At least here in the Midwest, it's getting cold. I don't know how cold it's getting.
Well, I must say it is actually kind of cold over here in California. Our cold is not your cold, and I recognize that. Wind. We had a couple days last week that were quite windy. So the sea is angry. This coastline here. It's getting real foggy at night as well, too, in the winter. It does that a lot. So I'll be driving home from the shop late at night, and, well, I'll tell you what, it looks like I'm in the middle of pea soup out here.
How do you pea soup?
Carefully.
Looks like we're still waiting for those guys. Tommy, do you want to go give them a little nudge? I know took you a while to get into the infield, but maybe now that you know the way, might be a little quicker.
Yeah, let me go take a look here, see if anyone wants to talk to us. Well, maybe they're just too shy. We'll take a look here shortly and see if I can get anybody.
Those results now popping up on your screen, folks. Rich Knappick with the victory, Jeff Stakena second, Steve Rubino, Dennis Chambers, Ron Simpson, your top five. Then it's going to be Steve Grant, Dan Rubino, Rod Weston, Brendan Spadafora, Duke Sorensen, Jim Woodrow, Wade Driscoll, Larry D, John Dog Palmer, Dale Brown, Herman Reese, Rob Keller, and Ryan Johnson. The rest of your field. While Tommy continues to wrangle up our top three.
All right, Joe, looks like we got our top three here with us, and we're going to start with our third place finisher, Steve Rubino here. Let me bring him in. And here is third place tonight in the 21 for the final time. Steve, an emotional night there. And a good send-off for the 21, but I know you probably wanted more there right at the end.
Hey, Tommy. Yeah, it worked out for me the way it was supposed to work out. And I had everything lined up to get the win at the end there. And then, Jim got a little hot behind me with his fresh tires and hit me. But yeah, it was going to work out, I think. I don't know if the 6 would have made it on fuel. I was good to go, and I know we both had worn tires, but I was trying to get a run on him coming out, and I was watching him slip each lap more and more. So I thought I may have been able to pull it off, but not sure really though, because he's a smart driver and he's a good driver. So, but yeah, it was a fun night, and almost got it.
It seems like that's Steve, that's kind of been the case. A lot of these races, it's almost got it. How do you kind of walk away from tonight knowing that you ran so well? I mean, you're running up inside the top three, obviously finished third all night. How do you come away from this race tonight, though? What's the mindset, mentality-wise?
Well, when Jim hit me, obviously he apologized first thing, and I told him, "It's okay, Jim. I'm getting used to it." So, unfortunately, yeah, Joe, it seems to be happening a lot lately. I just can't pull out the win when something happens at the end of the race. So, how do I walk away? I come back next week and try it again. That's it. I mean, we're here to have fun, and yeah, it does get frustrating because you put the time in, and then you almost get it, and then boom. But yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back in a different number though.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Is this I know that's maybe not the send-off you wanted for that 20. Obviously, park it in victory lane for the last race, but after all this time in that number, we talked about it during the broadcast, kind of how, drivers, you have a strong tie to your number. I know why you're giving it up, and maybe the fans at home don't know, so if you want to talk about that a little bit, but also just what does that 21 mean to you? What is it? What does the new number you're moving to mean? Is it, kind of talk about that type of stuff?
Well, me and my brother both run our dad's race numbers. Bino runs the 44, which my dad ran early on in the 60s, I'm guessing. And then I'm running his paint scheme and his number, the yellow, the cream yellow, and red number 21, which was his last modified that he ran before he retired in 1980. And so yeah, it means a lot to me actually to run that number. I'm proud because that's if it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't even be doing this stuff. But I just felt it was time for a change. A lot has happened this year, and change seems to be good. So a guy joined the league and he wanted number 21. So I said, you know what, go ahead and take it. I'm going to switch. And everyone was like, what? You've run that number for 20 years. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I just feel I need a change and I'm good with it. So I have run 07, which is my birthday on the 7th day. I have run it in the past in other leagues and I like the number, obviously. So yeah, a fresh start, I guess, for next season.
A fresh start. Maybe it gets some of this. I don't want to call it bad luck, but kind of weird finishes, weird luck out of you. But I guess the Indiana 200, you were running 34 over there, so I don't know what it is. Maybe we need to get you like a voodoo doll or something. I don't know.
Well, I wanted 34. Actually, I was going to run 34 here as well. But Andre,
Yeah,
who hasn't been around in a while, he says he's coming back. So it's his number. So
Andre, if you're out there, you better get back because I think Steve's still eyeing your number, no matter what he says.
no,
But
I already painted an 07 car for
Okay.
next season, so I'm good with it. I'm fine.
are we gonna see it in a couple weeks at Martinsville? Or are we still seeing?
No, not in that series. I'm just going to run a game car
Okay.
for the because it's a short season for the winter. But I'll be running it next Sunday actually for the GN70, which we may see you in that series. Yeah.
Hey, it's always a pleasure to come out to these races, Steve. And before we just let you do you get to shout out all the folks that are always cheering you on in chat. Really want to say thank you as always for bringing us out for these. You've been such a great support to us here on JTN and having us come out and do these races. And it always makes me feel really good when you guys say that we do a good job too. So I appreciate that. And before we let you go, you're good at it. You know the drill. The floor is yours.
Yeah, well, thanks again, Joe. I mean, you, Tommy, Ricky, you guys do a great job, actually. And speaking for this community, it's a great thing. It's a great tool to have for us, and it's a lot of fun, and it brings more excitement to the races. And we get some of our family and friends to watch. So I believe my sisters are out there, maybe even my cousin Annie and Felicia. I'm not sure. But thanks for watching, and hit the thumbs up button, guys, and subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny, and it helps Joe out. So do that every time you guys come in. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're not subscribed. But yeah, Joe, just we're starting our winter series now in the GN70s and the GN55s. It's a short season through the winter, and then we kick it back up again in February to when NASCAR starts. We follow their schedule, and we'll be doing the modifieds again as well. Same 3 series we had last season. And we're getting a lot of guys joining up now too, which is good. So we're getting ready. So, but yeah, thanks to everyone. Thanks to all you guys. I appreciate it.
Steve, it's always a pleasure, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations once again on the 3rd place run here tonight.
Thanks, guys.
Steve Rubino, driver number 21, your 3rd place finisher here from the Empire State. Yeah. Let's go ahead, Tommy. Let's bring in our 2nd place finisher, qualified on pole, rallied back to 2nd, driver number 31, Jeff Stakenis. Jeff, weird night, I think would be a good way to describe it.
Yeah, I normally look at my F2 when I go to pit, and for whatever reason, it told me that the pits weren't open, and I never seen the pace car, and I passed the pits, except for everybody else was, behind me, so they all pitted. So, yeah, that was a problem tonight.
Is this No, it sounds like you shot yourself in the foot, but you did it with like one of those little like suction cup dart guns because you rallied all the way back up to 2nd. What was the strategy though there? Because it seemed you didn't have the same pace that you had early. Was that strategy trying to make sure you had enough fuel and tire to make it to the end of the race?
Enough tire. I had enough fuel. Because I pitted that, 1 lap later. I was 6 to the good at the end of the race, where everybody else was, almost underwater that pitted before me. But it was the tire thing. And I actually, about 45 or 50 to go, I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'm going to pit one more time. And then I was just telling Rich that when I seen them guys stay out, and I thought, what do I got to lose? I'm just going to try this. I mean, it ain't a points night or anything.
Right.
So I just stayed out, and it all held up. And then a wreck happened in front of me there, and was able to get by.
Got by in a second. You're always so strong here in the modifieds. I mean, I know it's, people, they can go, oh, it's fixed setup. You don't have to put the work in setup wise, but you're always strong in the open setup stuff too. What makes you just such a great driver with the modifieds and these fixed setups here at Hobo?
Lots of practice and lots of driving. And I guess, I was never this good when I first started, but I've been doing this for years and years and years now, and just finally got, concept in my head of how to drive. That's not normal drive. You got to drive a car like on the edge all the time. That's how race car drivers drive. That's how you got to drive it.
And it's so much fun to watch you guys drive those cars, because tonight y'all were sliding around out there, but
I about busted my butt a couple times. Yeah, there was 2 times that I can tell you I was like, woo, oh boy, that's a little much.
But Jeff, it was a fantastic run for you, despite the mishap coming to pit lane with the F2 button. But congratulations on the rebound here tonight. To be able to finish second, still a great run. Before we let you go, though, you've won these things. You've been in the top 3 plenty of times. The floor is yours, buddy.
Oh yeah, thanks to the guys that I race with. It's always a pleasure to race with these guys, Dan and Steve, for putting this thing on, and everybody watching. It's a great time, and anybody that is on the fence about getting into racing here, it's don't be on the fence. Get into it. It's fun hobby to have, and thank you guys for broadcasting.
It's especially fun when you have the good runs, Jeff. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
On the second place run. Thanks for taking the time to talk with us. Jeff Stakanis, your second place finisher, driver the number 31 here tonight. Tommy, I think it's time for you to bring in your favorite paint scheme of the night.
Absolutely. Well, here he is in that gorgeous number 6 modified. Rich, congratulations on the win tonight. It came down to the wire, and ultimately the strategy paid off. How close were you on fuel behind the wheel of that 6 car?
Thanks, guys. I was going to be a lap short, maybe. I kept going, maybe a splash, maybe a lap, but I wasn't stopping.
When you've kind of made up your mind like that towards the end of the race, that Steve was getting, he was getting ever so closer there coming to the end of that race. But you've already made up your mind at that point to stay out. Are you able to focus on the driving, or what is that mindset?
Oh yeah, I wasn't stopping, and I was just gonna keep the low line. And if he was gonna pass me, would have had to do it up high.
What we saw tonight too was that low line just so dominant. So, do you think he would have had any shot of passing you high if you just kept parking it on the bottom?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think there was much grip up there, especially that late in the race and the tires being worn.
Mm-hmm. How bad was that tire wear tonight?
Not bad. The last run, I probably had a little over a quarter left on the front at least. It wasn't bad tire wear at all. I was more concerned about fuel than tires.
Oh, tires held up, fuel held up. What does a win like this do for you? I know it's kind of off season. We're in that in between type of part of the year. What does a win though right now do for you? Your momentum, your confidence, maybe going on into the future, because you always run strong, but victory is obviously the little icing on the cake.
Yeah, win's a win. It's always good to win, especially against these guys, because it's hard to get a win. Everybody's so competitive and competition's so good. Everybody's a good driver, so it's just real hard to win. And when you do, it feels great.
Well, it feels great, and it was great talking with you after this one, Rich. Before we let you go, though, the floor is yours. Sponsors, family, friends. You know the drill by now. Floor's yours, buddy.
I'd like to thank you guys for putting on a good broadcast, and I'd like to thank Judy and my family and everybody out there watching. Steve for putting on this race, and all the guys at Hobo for putting on a good show for everybody. And just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and God bless America.
Hey, a very happy Turkey Day to you too as well, Rich. Congratulations once again, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
Rich Knapik, your winner here tonight, driver of the number 6. Well, Tommy, that's going to do it for our coverage here from the Bullring West. I mean, a really fun race here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. You know, we saw quite the event here. You know, usually, especially at short tracks, you know, you get a lot of cautions, maybe stop and go, that kind of thing. Tonight, a lot of green flag racing, and you saw that strategy by Rich there to make it to the end on field. It was going to be a little bit short, even sounded like, but just kind of lucked out this time and got the victory. Exciting race tonight. A lot of respect out there too. Love to see it.
A lot of respect out there, a lot of green flag racing, which is always much appreciated by, you know, not only us as broadcasters, because we don't have to fill up at some airtime, but also the fans out there, because it just keeps your attention, right? We saw these guys, they were wheeling those cars all night long, they were on that ragged edge, and that's just what always makes good racing, when you know the drivers are really having to push the limits of their race cars to get a good finish. But with all that being said, I believe we're the last two here on the team speak. That's pretty crazy. But with all that being said, folks, again, first thing I beg you to do, make sure if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to us right here on JTN. Set a reminder on your calendar. Next time we're live with these boys here at Hobo Racing is going to be Tuesday night from Phoenix. We're going to crown a champion out in the desert. It'll be myself and probably Ricky, but you never know. Our next broadcast, though, Tommy and I, you can join us Saturday night, 10:45 p.m. Eastern Time, so late night on a Saturday night for the USORL Retro Series from the Pensacola Superspeedway. Going to be a fun time down in Florida. You're not going to want to miss it, but with all that being said, keep an eye out on our socials. Might have a Black Friday sale going. You never know. You never know. That's why you got to keep your eyes peeled and make sure you're following at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter. With all that being said, though, I'm going to actually wrap it up this time. For our producer, for Tommy Bordeaux, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. Great start to your weekend, and we'll see you guys next time right here live on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh, Maverick! Oh, wide!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill is through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. So Musa gets it.